but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Ba-doom-doom. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. When our friends talk about you, all it does is just tear me down. 'Cause my heart breaks a little when I hear your name. It all just sounds like ooh. Too young, too dumb to realize that I should have bought you flowers. Held your hand, I should have gave you all my hours when I had the chance. Take you to every party, 'cause I remember how much you loved to dance. Do all the things I should have done when I was your man. Ooh, y'all didn't know. Welcome to episode 26 of the Swift and the SwiftUI Learnalong. I am your host, Yo Soy Tao. I go by many names, really. Just know that I am the one, and you are the one, that find ourselves in this present moment. Really, it's about all we can ask for. Now, we're going to get started shortly. Let me give you the rundown. I figured it'd be better if I give the intro with my tags on screen so I can plug and all that shit. So on the mic, we have myself, production, got Mr. Jer in training. Intern in training. And what is the purpose of this stream? The purpose of the stream is to serve as a vehicle of catharsis, learning, and general what should I say? The best I can describe it is somebody that I love told me once that I'm a very expressive person, and I would agree with that. And so I need to express things. And I think if you're an expressive person and you have something to give, you should give it. You should put it out into the world. I've never seen anything bad come from this. I think if you put good out, you get good back. Okay, so that's the general consensus. All right? That's the general properties of this stream. Now, further to the point, let's talk about the curriculum, because this is going to be a long-running stream. It's going to be going on for a while, guys. We got 26 episodes in, and brother, we're probably not looking at anything less than, this is a rough guess. Not that it's going to stop after the fact. We'll find something new to build, to learn, whatever. But for this particular idea, the idea being a company that I started, that my future wife-to-be and I, it's going to be a little, just fun little app shop. We're just going to build apps that we love. For all platforms, but we're starting with iOS, obviously. Hence, Swift. And so what we're doing here, we're doing a deep dive into Swift, and we're using easily the greatest piece of programming. Well, let me back up a little bit. Easily the most well-written, concise programming book that I've come across. I've showed you guys in the past just how many stinking books I've read just because I like to read about languages. They weren't necessarily of this ilk in terms of the deep dive, but I like to read about languages generally speaking. And this book is just fantastic. And so I'm saying that because what we're doing here and what you're going to be watching is somebody that's actually learning the thing. I am not an influencer. I am a man of industry. This will never be my primary income. If eventually I start making money from streams, then so be it. But that is not the purpose here. The intention here is, as I already stated, so we won't go back to that. But after we learn Swift via this great book, I didn't finish my thought. I'm only mentioning the book because I want to explain to you. Let me get on the camera. Jared, put me on the camera. Let's go. All right, thank you, brother. Now, we're going through this book. Or wait, what was I saying? Oh, I want to mention that because you're not leaning on my knowledge. You're watching me learn. I call it fly on the wall learning. I'm not going to be checking chat. I don't really care what y'all be talking about. No offense. But really and truly, I mean, in my head, I'm thinking, I need to learn this first and foremost. I think it's of some benefit, although I understand it's difficult because you're watching somebody learn. You're not in my head. I try to voice as much as I can in terms of the thought process. And of course I will read the book to you. But that's going to be the general experience. It's a me first, brother. It's my stream. Okay, so I'm just saying. Now eventually, we're already late. Jared's still learning LumaFusion, brother. Okay, yeah, sure. Eventually, we will get these chopped and edited, chopped and screwed, brother. No, but we'll get these streams. Of course, you can watch the streams anytime on X or YouTube, whatever platform you're watching on. But eventually, we'll get around to just chopping out all the, intros like this, long-winded asides that I go on, bathroom breaks, So eventually, it will appear as a playlist. But there are certain things I want to do to that, timestamps and whatnot. And honestly, I'm thinking by the time we get through Swift, which is the first book that we're on now, we're not quite halfway there. Then we're jumping into SwiftUI because I need to know how to build interfaces too. After that, we'll do some system design, schema design for the application itself. After that, we're going to jump back into another Big Nerd Ranch guide, which is the what I have hiccups. The book that the book series. We're going to jump back into Big Nerd Ranch Guide for iOS programming specifically. So right now we're doing a deep dive into the language itself. After we do some system design, we'll come back to it and focus on the Apple platform specifically and work with those APIs via the book. And then after that, by that point, just throughout the book, even in this book, we'll build some projects towards the end. And then by the time we get to the end of the iOS book, we would have had a number of starter apps, just because I know what the books contain. I haven't read through them, but obviously I read the table of contents. So I know we'll have some, effectively what I'll just call, starter packs, templates to work off of. And so from there, we'll just start building the thing. And I don't feel like talking about the thing today, so I'm not going to do that. I do that enough on other streams. So that's the lay of the land, brother. That's what you got coming. Okay. So, God damn, it's hot. You're hot and you're cold. You're yes and you're where do we leave off here? Let's start here. I'm just going to read through this. I'm not going to work whatever these examples are, but I just want to read through it because I like these sections for the more curious. We've been skipping through the challenges. We're going to go back maybe at the end of the book or maybe just at the end of SwiftUI, and we'll tackle either these challenges or we'll go find something more project oriented to do. I don't want to toot. I don't want to toot, but I also don't want to double back is what I meant to say. I don't want to double back too often. It's not of major value to me, in my opinion, brother. Okay, so one way or the other, it'll get very project oriented after we go through and just learn the whole kit caboodle, the guts of it, right? Okay, all right. So yesterday, let me just look at the code here and see if I can somehow recall what we did. What was yesterday? We did, the internal and the getter and the setter. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to recover that because that was mostly classes, and we've learned through research, and we've confirmed this to be true, that thankfully with Swift, although it supports classes and inheritance, object-oriented programming, or the OOP paradigm. Okay, we understand that it supports this, but we're not going to use it. And we've confirmed that we don't need to use it. You don't need classes to build apps or whatever. So we're going to opt for a enum protocol, those two tandem kind of things to give our app bones, so to speak. So yeah, so yesterday was class centric, so we're going to recover that. So let's just start here. All right. All right, brother. We're going to shoot for 3 hours today, brother. Maybe. Shit, I don't know how to say that. Okay, for the more curious, keypads. Imagine you are building an index for a list of names. The first step to figuring out which section each name belongs to would be extracting the first character of each one. The first step to figuring out which section each name belongs to would be extracting the first character of each one. Okay, so let names equal this array of values. Let first letters equal names dot, and then this is a method associated with the what we must assume is the string type, because although there's no type annotation up here, we understand that Swift with its type inference would take these to mean that, you know, this array is of type string, or rather the type is array of strings. Yeah, two different things. And as an aside, notice the use of compact map. And we learned also, if you don't recall, so when you see this, well, first of all, when you see the name compact map, why is the C little and the M is big? That's convention. It's not required, and it's referred to as camel case. Yeah. Yeah, camel case. Just trying to think. I know that there's camel case, kebab case, snake case, Pascal case, although I think those might be the same thing. But Pascal case, it would have, the C would be big too, and map. Anyway, just so we know. And then we also know that the parentheses, of course, represent, well, first of all, it tells you that it's a function, right? Second of all, the underbar colon tells you that it takes a single input, and the underbar tells you that you don't have to particularly name it anything. It just needs an argument, a single argument. You don't have to necessarily call it anything. So, and that's defined by, where is that defined? Like, what does that mean? And I'm just giving you a recap, brother. Relax. So if we go, I don't think we have one here actually. Maybe I can do it by memory. Hopefully some of this is sunk in. So if we do like funk truck, and then in the argument listing, or wait. Yeah, if we, okay, the real use is something like this. So if we did like funk truckload, right? And if we know that the argument, the first argument that we want to pass to the function is, let's say, the number of loads. So maybe this would make more sense if I did like calculate truckload weight. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so then the way it was presented to us in terms of doing an anonymous parameter, if the last word, like the thing itself that we're passing, the argument, the value, so let's say we're going to be calculating weights, so we're working with numbers, okay? And weight is like each truckload's weight. Okay, so maybe I should make this to make sense. Calculate total truckload weight. Now we know what it's doing, right? So it's aggregating the weight of each truckload that comes in. And so the idea was since weight explains what the argument is to be, we don't necessarily need to pass the parameter in or name the parameter when we give it a value. So when we define it in the signature, we can use a little underbar here, which means like anonymous, anything, wildcard. Yeah, not anonymous. I should use the right word, like wildcard. That's what it means. And then internally, though, you can still give it like an actual name. So that would be the actual name. And it should be of type int. And we would give it a return type. It should also come back as an integer. And then we open up that, bust it wide open, and put the function body in here. Return whatever. 1 plus 1. Or no, it should be, let's just do, does that work? And then here, if we calculate total truck weight, and so it gives me the parameter, but you don't have to do that because it's, because of the underbar, the weight parameter name is not exposed to the outside. Within scope it is, you can use it. Matter of fact, you have to. But here you cannot, you just give it an integer. So 5. So if we run this, we should get 6, right, brother? Let's do it. If Xcode will wake up. Wake me up. Wake me up. Wake me up. Man, I miss Sublime, brother. I really do. But this is cool. It's not bad. Result of call to calculate total truckload weight is unused. Result of call. What do you mean? I can't just... I guess you can't. I guess that makes sense. Why would you? Can't do escape character. Five. Wait, whoops. Where did it? Oh, there it is. 6. Booyah, baby. We're getting this shit. Anyway, that's what that is, which is important to remember because once we get into, or not once, I mean, we've been doing it, but once you are, I can't talk today. Once you are repeatedly referencing the documents, knowing how to read what's being presented to you is going to be very important. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, you need to know that, all right? We need that foundation. We must. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. Just a quick little aside. So now we know what it's telling us. It takes an anonymous single input, and it's a method, and we know this because a method is a function assigned to a particular type. Okay. As an aside, notice the use of compact map, which is an array method that behaves like map. Brother, why? Y'all don't get excited now, but I think I'll just remove my pants. And had I not said anything, you'd be none the wiser. You don't even know that I'm really doing it right now. Don't worry, I don't wear like a Velcro belt. If you heard that, it's just my my sandals. Got the dad sandals with the Velcro strap around the ankle. Boy, y'all don't know nothing about that. When I say comfort, it's with the capital C. Anyway, okay, so that behaves like map, and God damn it. Hold on one sec. Don't worry about exactly what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get, come on. You know those, the ones that hug your ankles, but it's hard to get off your foot. Oh my gosh. I think I'm going through menopause. I've been having hot flashes lately. It'll feel like real cold. It's 72. I tell my girl, I'm like, man, it feels like 68 in this mug. And she's like, it's hot, baby. And it's usually the opposite. So I don't know what's happening, but oh, buddy. Okay. That's actually a lot better. Okay, so let me get rid of this. All right, where were we? Behaves like map, but omits results for which the provided closure returns nil. As an aside, notice the use of compact map, which is an array method that behaves like map but omits results for which the provided closure returns nil. Oh, cool. That's handy, yeah. Since the first property of a string returns character, it is good to ensure that the resultant array does not contain any nil values. Since the first property of string returns an optional character, it is good to ensure that the resultant array does not contain... Oh, I see, because it could potentially be nil, hence why it's an optional in the first place. Got you, brother. All right, in this example, it would be convenient to say map this array of strings to their respective first properties without making me write a closure. Show me how. I don't know what you mean. When you need an expression that refers to a specific property of a type, you can use a key path. Okay. When you need an expression that refers to a specific property of a type, you can use a key path. The map family of functions can take a key path in place of a transforming closure, in which case the method will return a collection that has been transformed by extracting the specified property from each instance in the source collection. Wow. Let's do write that one. That sounds... Change my mind. Let's just see. Just in case. Actually, matter of fact, let me just... Why not just do the whole thing, brother? Okay. And I also would like to put this on our board. I need to post this, damn it. I swear I will do this before we finish this first book, okay? I know it's... I keep saying it. We're going to do it. We are absolutely going to do it. Because this is where everything's going to go. And it'll be easy. So, eventually what you're seeing here... The app is irrelevant. I've already told you guys about it. If you don't know what it is, it's Board Mix. It's awesome. Go get it. And they're having like a lifetime deal. So for $200 for a lifetime, you could have a 5-member whiteboard that you can share, publicize, do presentations, diagramming. Yeah. This is the only thing I don't like about this app, to be honest with you, is the fucking... It's just that one little... just stop fucking showing me that I'm a paid member, brother. But other than that, it's great. Now, I guess it doesn't matter necessarily where... Wait, this isn't it. This is... Oh, yeah, this was my slide. The one that, got me the job, brother. No, you know what's hilarious is that... I mean, not hilarious. It's not like I didn't dupe anybody, right? But it's just... What's interesting... I know I lied. I said we were going to get into it, but I'm going to give you a quick aside. Sorry, brother. It's my stream. So, what's interesting... This is pretty simple, right? I mean, this is a... It's just a process flow for how... Because the assignment for the interview, the third round, was... Explain to us how you would do the... The role is for a director of BI delivery, right? So I'm not even sure necessarily what it means yet because I haven't started yet. I start at the end of the month. But generally speaking, it does sound a lot like a portion of what I was doing previously as a product director. So it's basically just saying, understand the lay of the land, and then based on these are product lines, so integrations, reporting, or Microsoft Dynamics, depending on the product line, go through the proper steps to document what the customer wants, what's needed, the changes needed, what systems are we integrating with, blah, blah, blah. Write up a specification. Kids, get good at writing technical documentation. You will never be undervalued, I promise you that. And then from there, it goes to the subject matter expert for review before it goes to the customer for sign approval. So it's almost common sense if you've spent any time around, anything of that nature. But what I found interesting was they really, because there was 3 people on the call. And in my head, I'm stressing about the words, like the stuff, how I'll say it, how I'll explain it, right? And I wanted to keep it simple. But that's what I was focusing, like, okay, does this really communicate that I understand the procedural steps, yada, yada? And I felt like it did, obviously. That's what I landed on. But that was my concern, right? So I give the presentation. And then it was just interesting to hear what they were assessing on, because it wasn't, part of it was the process and describing it to them, right? Actually, why don't I just show y'all? Just if I'm going to talk about it, let's really talk about it. It won't take long. But I think this is good knowledge for any young punks out there. Or punks my same age. There's punks my age too. Shoot. I guess it was master plan. But yeah, anyway, yeah, this is it. I'll keep I will keep these, and then eventually I will, hit share, and there will be a URL, and then you guys can just come, and all of the notes and aggregate things that we put together will be here. Okay, but that's later on. That's not important present moment. Now let me show you this real quick. Snow ACP. I think that was it. Brother. Oh yeah, okay, here it is. So this was what I presented. Well, it was dark mode, I believe. The aspiring BITM BI delivery manager. And this was the assignment, of course. But so fun facts about me. I gave him some humor. I passive aggressively told them, hey brother, if it ain't SQL, Camel, JavaScript, or Swift, no, but really, those are the things I make it a point when because you just never know how people are interpreting things. And the last thing you might think you want this, but I'm going to bet that you really don't, because it's just not worth the risk. But what I'm saying is you don't want to bamboozle your way into a position, because it just probably won't work out well, brother. So you don't want to do that, right? But you also want to get the lay of the land, make sure that you're going to enjoy your role too. Anyway, this is what I told him. So I'm like, look, this is my way of doing it, okay? Fun facts about me, who I am, blah, blah, blah. Talked him through the process, right? Did my little, this is Excalibur, by the way, and isn't it beautiful? So cool. But yeah, look at all the nice touches. These are not, BoardMix gave me this template. So, a lot of this stuff, I just had to put the words there and arrange it in a way I felt was nice. But just pay attention to the vector. The vectors, I think, are highly underrated just because they look so damn clean no matter what size you need to push them around at. So I talk them through it, and then I'm like, yeah, then we go here. Then I explain a few more processes, yada, 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 yada. Okay? And then finally close it off, and we had a good laugh at my shitty, I ran out of time, brother. Okay, it was last minute. Didn't have to, couldn't cut out all the colors or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But, so I step them through that, right? And I'm thinking we're gonna talk about the word. They're gonna continue to quiz me. No, they were fawning over the appearance of it, the presentation of it, the fact that I, was doing things like this and not just talking over a slide, but actually, as I talked about it, showing them with the little laser pointer. They love the font, which I get because, or not that font, this, because like honestly, board mix would be my hands down favorite if it could just add this kind of, and I mean, Excalidraw is open source, right? So like, I don't know. I wish they would just straight up steal it, if I'm being honest, but, or not steal it. It's not stealing. I shouldn't say that. But just take the font. I love this font, and they loved it too. And they're like, man, look at that. That just makes it so approachable. And so, I mean, it sounded like an ad for Excalidraw. It was crazy. But they loved the presentation style, the fact that it wasn't so rigid and it was kind of moved around, and that it, you know, and they were talking about all these things, and I'm like, wow, I just knew innately that I personally loved the appearance, the aesthetics of Excalidraw, including the, you know, this tool. But I never thought about it to the degree that they explained it. But to them, they're thinking, you know, because they want a person, I would be the third, because it's a small company. It's a consultancy firm for BI. So there's lead gen, there's the salesperson, and then there's fulfillment. And so they're all one-man departments, right? So, and I love that. I don't like, I had a brief foray into the feel of a larger corp, and I hate it, brother. I hate it. As I said, I'm an expressive person, so I need to be able to, I need autonomy, effectively, is what it is. And you can find it out there. You just got to look. But yeah, it's important to find the right kind of role. But anyway, I would be the third rung, so I would be fulfillment. And so they had the sales guy on, like, yeah, okay, yeah, he could close, you know, that. My only point in all this, I would say always opt for simplicity. And I think being a little too short on a presentation is better than running a little bit long, because at least you can still make an impact. And, you know, even if you leave them wanting a little bit more, if what you bring is substantial, meaning of substance and value, for purposes of an interview, even if they said like, I wish it was a little longer, the fact is you already showed them you have the capability to put pen to paper and create something, right? So you just need to give them the visceral experience. That's just my advice. And also take note of, because I mentioned the aesthetics of it and the fact that they were fawning over it, because in my head, looking back at that experience, I think, okay, it's good that it lined up, but in a way it was kind of luck. Like I could have just as easily chose PowerPoint, and then I don't get all the points for all the praise that, you know, because I made this presentation in 4 different places. I made it in Concepts app, on the drawing app. I thought I wanted to do something a little more interactive. Then I made it in Board Mix. Then I made it in Obsidian's slideshow thingy, and then eventually just Excalidraw. But that could have easily been something else. But my point is, make sure you listen and hop out of your head, because I'm real bad about that too, when people are telling you what it is that they want. All right, hopping off the soapbox, and we're coming back, baby. Okay, initialization. Is this where we were? Yeah, let's just get to it, because key path, great, brother. But wait. Okay, I'm lying. I do want to see this. Okay, we'll just start up here. We got all day. Almasi Harris with 1 R. That's interesting. June, and Kala. There's a dog that lives. I'm on the second story of this little. It's a small little community with these. I guess these are technically lofts, although they just kind of look more like townhomes. But I'm on the second story, and so when I walk out, there's like a small little pool area, and then off to the right are other people's homes on the first floor, and they always have their doors open, and I can always see these little fat dogs in there, and they look real cute, you know, real friendly, nice little dogs. They're little dogs, you know. But some of them little dogs are mean, boy. The other day I met this dog walking back in. I was walking my girl out. She came to visit. She's going home. Walked her to her car. As I'm coming back in, I meet this little black dog who I found out her name is Teslaka, which I found out after the event. So had I known her name was Teslaka, I probably wouldn't even try to pet her in the first place. But you ever had a dog try to fake bite you? Like it really wanted to bite you, but this little fucking dog, when I was walking back in, it was just off its leash. So I figured, okay. And I could see the owners of the dog, and they looked chill. They weren't like, no, so I'm thinking, okay. And I've been bitten by 2 dogs in my life. One when I was just petting it, and it was just like an old bastard dog, and it was letting me pet it. I had met the dog before I knew the fucking dog. It just decided to steal off on me one day and just like nip me on my, because I was just petting it like that. I was bent over, just kind of not directly in its face, but maybe, like this, like, oh yeah, and then rah, fucking little bitch. So we're not cool anymore. And then years later, I'm here in Dallas at a dog park. I had a little wiener dog. So in Dallas, most of the dog parks separate. So there's a small, medium dogs, and then big dogs. Well, the small dog area, all the little dookie bags are gone. So I'm like, okay, let me hop over to big dogs, get some bags. Long story short, I'm no threat. I'm wearing something very similar to this. I ain't got no hood on or nothing. It's broad daylight. The gate is about as wide as, my arms. There's enough room for 2 people to pass through, even if one has a dog. Anyway, I'm casually walking by, and that fucking dog, this guy's walking out with 2 dogs. It looked like just like a lab mix, big black dog. Bites my fucking thigh for no reason. Stupid motherfucker. But anyway, ever since then, I don't go reaching for dogs. I wasn't even reaching for that dog, matter of fact, but just because I explicitly don't do it for that reason. Well, but Teslaka's coming, and she's kind of like prancing towards me. And she looked happy. So I'm like, oh, okay, these are my neighbors, this is a safe place. So I kind of lean over a bit, and then she starts barking. I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm out. But then the owner starts saying, oh, Teslaka, be nice, be nice. I was like, oh, what was her name? He's like, Teslaka. Jeez. Sounds like a Nubian princess reincarnated, like something crazy. But anyway, so I reach out again, and then the dog fucking, you ever, like when the dog fake bites you, like she didn't bite me. But boy, she got close, and she thought about it. She's one of them dogs, she has a little, kind of like a little beard. Like everything's shaven, but she has little hairs right here. And when I reached my hand out, she went and like gummed me. So I just felt like the slightest bit of like little warm lip in her little slobbery mustache hair, and she just like and it scared me for like a nanosecond, and then I realized what she was doing, and then I just thought it was freaking hilarious. But it's not funny. I mean, you shouldn't let your fucking dog harass people, because if it was a bigger dog, then it's not as funny, you know what I mean? Or if a tooth hits, now it's not as funny. But Teslaka, she gummed me. So I guess she spared me in a sense. But just be careful, brother, what dogs you're fucking with. They might come breathe hot breath on you like she did and just gum you to stupid dog. All right, anyway. Okay. Initialization. Wait, hold on. I think I need to. Oh no, that's fine. Yeah. Initializer syntax. Structures and classes are required to have initial values for their stored properties by the time initialization completes. Structures and classes are required to have initial values for their stored properties. By the time initialization completes. This requirement explains why you have been giving all your stored properties default values. Structures and classes. I wish there was a way to, oh, it doesn't matter. This requirement explains why you have been, holy shit, I just remembered something. I think Scrintal, didn't I pay for it? I think I did pay for it. Maybe it's gotten better. It had a really cool, it had a cool premise, but it was just kind of lacking the last time I tried it, and I paid for a year just to, you know, show support, but I really didn't use it because it was just too bare bones. But the concept is really cool, although, you know what's crazy is that I spent so much time trying to, you won't be able to send and receive emails soon. You can already, and you already can't. For $1.99. What are they talking about, brother? Can't store. Google's all bent out of shape because I got off their fucking plan. I think this was the app. One of them had direct integration with whatever keeps the bookmarks in Kindle, I think. I thought it was this, but maybe not. Release no settings. Really? No? What have they done so far? Planned later. Search and board. That's tough, man. The fact that you can't do that right now sucks butt. Plan next. Send cards. Trash for cards. Title and backlink panel. Offline mode in progress. That's cool. That's nice. Checkbox list. Text highlights. See, like, I mean, that's, I mean, it's good. Like, I like it. Like I said, obviously I paid for it, but that's very basic stuff, really. Copy and paste. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was. Maybe they took it away. Oh, that's right. Maybe they did. I think they had, yeah. Yeah, man, never mind, man. Just fucking use that shit. It was there, and then they took it away, which is like not good, brother. But all right. So the requirement explains why you've been giving all your stored properties default values. Default values being, whoops, our properties like in our class here, aquí, and these would be the default values. This is another example, default value, and these are stored properties. And I wanted to ask, where's the wait, did I fix it? Okay, I did. All right, yeah. What was I gonna ask you? Oh yeah. In SwiftLang are both of these examples of a stored property. Let's just do class as. And we'll do the static is a type property, so I know that's not one, but this thing here. Oh wait. Yeah, like var victim pool of type integer. Equal to slap. And then we'll do the same for victim pools. Oh wait, I can't do that. Int 3, int 4. So really just trying to figure out if both the var, the constant and the mutable variable qualify. Come on, dude. Oh my god, I hate it. Hate this. All right. You know what, brother? Oh, you know what? Check this out. This is actually pretty cool. So that app that I was just using, the only reason I kept it around, because obviously the interface is not awesome, but I think it was mainly meant to be used like this. But if you do hello, and then, is that how you use it? Wait, what did I? You can pick a character as a prefix, and then anywhere in a text field with anywhere with a native text field, it'll just automatically trigger GPT to write the input right then and there. Here it is. Yeah, slash. Select the trigger phrase that is used to detect when you want to invoke Mac GPT inline. Trigger. You just send. Oh, shift return. I gotta do shift return. All right. Yeah, so this is cool. So imagine, just like Copilot, right? But it's not just in, I guess, a cooler example. Like even in your Note app, where normally you wouldn't have something like a Copilot or something like that. So you can do GPT, hello, shift enter. And that's sick. That's pretty fucking cool. Right? That's pretty cool. I think it was $20. But it's a one-time charge. I don't know. Eventually that's going to be a big deal. I just haven't got there yet. But I do find that to be of high value. And even what's interesting is the thing we downloaded yesterday, the ChatGPT app itself, like OpenAI has released an official ChatGPT desktop app, which is not the same thing as what I just showed you. The thing I just showed you is called Mac GPT. It doesn't support that. So it's still, I guess, viable is what I'm saying, to be able to use it inline anywhere. So yet another quick aside, brother. Now, let's get back to this requirement explains why you have been giving. Oh, right, but I lost. That's so stupid. Can I copy this? I can't. Dude, come on. So that's the downside of open source. It's not always going to be hella polished, but okay, good. So both of them in your Swift class ass are examples of store properties. Love it, brother. Hey. Okay, now it's our favorite time of the day. Not really. That is a joke. But brother, sometimes nature calls, and so Jer, hold it down. I'll be right back. Won't be long. And if anybody was watching, they're definitely gone now. And yet, we persevere, brother. Alone or in droves. We must learn the catacombs. Okay, where were we? Hootata, hootata, hootata. We were... God dang, that was a long time. Brother, my stomach was doing a little bit of funny stuff on me. My bad. Okay. Focus in. Got my hydration, brother. Just got to figure out what side to drink it out of. All right, we're back. Initialize the syntax. Structures and classes are required to have initial values for their stored properties by the time initialization completes. This requirement explains why you've been giving all your stored properties default values. Yep. Which is here, an example. Here, excuse me, sorry, that's gross. Defining an... Wait. This requirement explains why you have been giving all your stored properties default values. If you had not, the compiler would have given you errors saying that the type's properties were not ready to use. Defining an initializer on the type is another way to ensure that properties have values when the instance is created. Right. So program fires up, and then all of our classes have to be initialized with their values. So whatever properties. And so it would be initialized, and then in memory would be a variable called name with a value of monster, a string, monster. Okay, we understand this. The syntax for writing an initializer is a little different from what you have already seen. Initializers are written with the init keyword. Where have I seen that before? It doesn't matter. Well, a lot of places, but I was trying to think of where I've written that before. Even though they are methods on a type. Okay, so init is just a function. Even though they're methods on a type, initializers are not preceded with the func key word. Okay. Initializer syntax looks like this. Struct custom type. You want me to write that? It didn't tell me to. We'll just write it. It didn't tell me to do it, so I'm going to do it. Custom type. I wonder why sometimes. Oh, that's for. Okay, that's right. The convention for structs and enums is. I can never remember which is which, but I think that's why it looks like that. In SwiftLang, is it convention to use Pascal case for structs, enums, classes, and camel case for variable names and function names? I think that's what. Okay, so that is the case. Damn, GPT 4.0, brother, blazing fast. Wow. It really is a lot faster. They weren't lying about that. Okay, so that is the case. All right, so that's why that is the way that it is. What is this? Instruments. This is the most annoying fucking thing about Mac OS. Like, what fucking window is that? Nothing happens when I fucking click on it, and it's not. Oh, it's right there. Just kidding. Just kidding. Ooh, what is this though? I don't know what that is. Weird. It still won't go away though. Whatever. Okay, so that is the case. Okay, so we were writing that astronaut custom type, Control E, go to the end of the line, open up that, bust that body wide open, init. So it is a method. Weird. Okay, it's a method, technically speaking, but not accessed through the dot syntax, which is something new. Just another thing that you just kind of have to know. So take note of that, I suppose. Okay, init, and the parameter name would be some value of type, some type. And then open up that body. Initialization code here. And that's different from a computed property, because hopefully they explain why, because I don't. Why is that different? Does this happen right away, perhaps? And not on the first read? This general syntax does not differ among structures, enumerations, and classes. That's good. In the example above, the initializer has one parameter called some value of type some type. While initializers typically have one or more parameters, they can also have 0 parameters, in which case there is a set of empty parentheses after the init keyword. Okay. So it could also just be like that. Okay. The initializer's implementation is defined within the braces, per usual. We've come to understand that pattern, just as you have been doing with regular functions and methods throughout this book. But unlike other methods, initializers do not return values. I see. There's the distinction there, really. So, actually, I think I'll just grab. Oh, I did. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Actually, no, I want to delete. And let's just grab that whole bad boy right there. Okay. Okay, so initializers do not return values. Straight up. Instead, initializers are tasked with giving values to a type's stored properties. Okay. There's just so, it's fine. There's just so many ways to do things. We already did that, though, is what I'm saying. Like, we already gave a value. To a stored property. I thought that's what we just asked it. If, var, like this would serve as a stored property and we're giving it a value. I'm sure it'll all make sense soon. Struct initialization. But wait, where did we, okay, no, but it is on a property too. Oh, we'll just have to keep reading. I don't get it yet. Struct initialization. Structures can have both default and custom initializers. When working with structs, you will typically want to take advantage of the default initializer provided, but there are some circumstances in which you will want to customize the initialization process. I guess what I'm not getting yet is whether or not in anything that we've already done is init like implicit anywhere, I guess. Since Swift seems to be a language that defaults to that, like with the getter we saw. Well, that's not fair because getter was more of an esoteric term we learned. Never mind, forget that. Default initializers for structs. Remember how you have been getting instances from your town type? Yes. Struct town, yeah. And wait, if you do shift %, yeah. Okay, so the whole thing is, yeah, so, and then in main, right, that's where we're pulling our Okay, that's what they're talking about. This is where we get the instance from, the town type. So my town is the instance. You gave the types stored properties default values. So town here, that would be what, well, that's the static is a type property we learned, not a stored property because of the static. I was trying to remember more of that, but I don't. Okay, so you gave the type stored properties default values. What you did not know is that you were taking advantage of an empty initializer. So there it is. An initializer without parameters, provided to you by the Swift compiler automatically. Okay, so it was implicit. If you could see its implementation, it would look like this. Oh. So, telling me, brother. So can I write that here? Init, open body, control, wait, no. End of the line is shift, $, capital A to insert end of the line. Close that bad boy. Nice, okay. So I see. So that's, yeah, okay. So that's what it's really doing for you, but you don't have to write that. This one I am not mad at. Thank you, Swift. Not mad at that at all. That's kind of the problem, is there's some shorthand that I'm totally okay with, and then other stuff I'm like a total Karen about it, but you know, whatever. Watching my stream, brother. So okay, so then now where were we? We're taking advantage of emptiness. Okay, so all right. So we get that. So that's what it looks like under the hood. So when we compile or build, that is what the compiler is doing for us. I always wondered about that because I guess it has to generate that at some point. So like somewhere when you build in the background, that init gets added, but also at the same time in the same process, like in the very same build process. I mean, because Swift compiles to machine code, so it's not like you would ever see that output, I suppose. Not that it matters, but I'm just saying. You could go your whole career and never see an init, potentially. You know, if you're writing a particular way or whatever. Anyway, so when you entered code, like var, my town equals town, that syntax called the empty initializer. Oh, okay, yeah. Called the empty initializer. Oh, that's why I'm on the wrong file. Okay. And I just want to make sure that that's what we're talking about right here. Oh no, wait, it would be on the, whatever, we did it once. I'm gonna leave it alone. Yeah, I'm gonna confuse myself. Okay, that syntax called the empty initializer and set the new instances properties to the default values you specified. Another form of default initializer is the member-wise initializer. Member-wise initializer. A member-wise initializer has a parameter for each stored property on the instance. A member-wise initializer has a parameter for each stored property on the instance. A member-wise. Each stored property. Okay. And it will use default parameter syntax to provide any default values you have declared on the type. This allows you to decide which parameters you wish to provide at the call site. Okay. The free member-wise initializer for town looks like this. So I assume they don't want us to add this, so I'm going to break my rule of copy and paste just so we can take a look, but it does not appear. Get out of here. Okay, so init, first parameter population, type integer, default value 5422. Okay. Oh, right. Okay, so if you just call it and you don't provide it with inputs, then it would use these. Okay, yeah, I had to remember what that looked like. That's right. Okay, so then self population equal population. So self referring to this instance. Number of stoplights. I see. Weird. So you're initializing these two values. Okay. But yeah, I still don't get it. Let's keep going further, because I mean, how does it know? I don't know if that's pseudocode or if that's really. I don't get how that ties in, so let's keep reading. We call the empty and memberwise initializers, I'll put it back here, free because they are synthesized for you by the Swift compiler. What are these fucking terms? Synthesize. And, what was the one yesterday? Mechanism. I mean, in a nutshell, we know what these mean, but what does it mean in Swift, brother? We call the empty and memberwise initializers free because they're synthesized for you by the Swift compiler. You do not need to define them yourself. At first, it seems like the empty initializers might just be a special case of the memberwise initializer, but the difference will become clearer when you study class initializers later in this chapter. Remember, one of the principal goals of initialization is to give all the types stored properties values, so that the new instance is ready to use. Okay. So we've already been doing this, but now we're digging further and learning how we might customize the initialization process should it need to differ from the default. That's what I'm hearing so far. The compiler will enforce the requirement that your new instance have values in its stored properties. If you do not provide an initializer for your custom struct, you must provide the necessary values through default values or memberwise initialization. Okay, I don't know. The memberwise thing is still a gap. Make a copy of the Monster Town project from the last chapter, so you have all the current code. Open the copy and navigate to main.swift. Make a copy. Okay. How file close project. Save. See what I'm saying? Like this, I'm clicking on file on the Finder. Where the fuck is it? I just really don't like Finder is trash and window nav is just trash on macOS. I'm sorry. It's just bad. Like, it's crazy how far how big of a gap there is between like the sheer undeniable, unquestionable industry leading quality of the hardware, and then the fucking operating system is just dookie butt. I mean, it's very frustrating. God damn. But I digress. So what was I doing? I already forgot what I was. Oh, I was going to my dev drive to make a copy of this thingy. Oh, here it is. Swift. Big nerd. And like every time I mean, I'm sure some of this is just default stuff, but as a list, show. That helps. I mean, that helps, but still. I guess it was this. Oh no, there you are. May 10th, Monster Town. Why did it make a copy, I wonder? Like an older one. Oh well. Here's copy. Not sure why it has all that gibberish in there, the Monster Town copy. And execute. You see what I'm saying though? Like you saw me just turn that on, right? Just show me the file path, and then you go to a new window, and like everything looks different depending on how you access it. And like I can't do that here. I can't show. It's just severely lacking. I'm not sure why it's showing me two folders of the same fucking thing, because I definitely named it dash copy. Man, I'm salty. Dev, Swift, big nerd. Oops, that was my fault. Big nerd. There we go. Copy. Why not? Why can't it open it? What's the problem? We don't know. It just doesn't want to do it. Just didn't want to do it. I long for the day when there's like a legitimate alternative to. I mean, it's not even. There's good parts of it, but just like bullshit like this. What is open existing project? I guess you can't do it that way. That's my best guess. Give me the original then. Is there some command clone project or duplicate? Yeah, let's just try that. But it's just going to do the file. Naturally, I'll just ask the AI. Oh, Caitlin went off finally? That poor girl. What stupid shit. How do I make a copy of a project in Xcode? I tried copying the directory of my project, but Xcode will not open it. close Xcode, copy the directory, rename the project. Rename the project. Open the double click. Clicking the name of the project navigator. Okay, maybe that's, hopefully that's all the issue was. So if I where is it? And then if you go to view, there's not like a hide toolbar. Show hidden files. Simple fucking shit. Like it should just fucking be there. On Windows, you just fucking right click. Man, that is, wait, maybe is it hidden in here? Hell no. Okay, what is it? It's, I'm gonna press something wrong and it's gonna shut down my system or something. On a Mac, what is the command for show hidden files? You can oh, I can do it every, okay, well that's all right. Kill all finder. Okay. And then it came right back. Shit didn't work. Come on. Let's go back. No, it should work now. If I closed it. Where's my drive? There it is. Dev Swift. Big nerd. It's still not fucking here. Is it in build? Products? No. What is the keyboard shortcut? Command Shift dot. All right. Command Shift dot. Fucking hate macOS. I promise you I do. Sheesh. Okay, Command Shift dot. Oh my gosh. It's fucking crazy, man. Rename the what? .xcode proj. Drill down. Oh man, Xcode proj. No. Is it? Oh, it's outside the directory. Whatever, let's make a new fucking project. How about that? So damn difficult. File, new project. Command line tool, Mac OS. That's what we did. Next. I better name it right. Monster. Town copy. Next. And don't add any project or workspace. Create. Oh man. Command N. Swift file, Mac OS. Sorry, y'all. Wish there was a better way, brother. I'm sure I'm missing something. I hope so. Now, I mean, obviously there's going to be some growing pains, but I mean, really and truly, like the stuff about that just doesn't go away. You just kind of got to live with it. It's a little different it's a little less, what I noticed is it's much less noticeable if you actually use like if you're a legitimate laptop user. Like I have a MacBook Pro, but it just sits in clamshell and I use it like a desktop with the external monitor because I hate the keyboard. I don't like QWERTY anyway. I have to use this thingy. Right, so I'm not QWERTYing anyway. So it's nonsense to me, you know? But not even before, even before I had wrist pain or whatever and switched to this, which I'm glad I did. I mean, this is awesome because it's fully customizable. And the thumb clusters are just my wrist pain is gone. How about that? Put it to you that way. So it works. They're definitely worth it. It's a big investment, but you get lifetime warranty and you're, probably never going to have to buy another keyboard for the rest of your life. But, $400, it's pretty steep. But yeah, if you use the laptop like a laptop and you prefer trackpad and all that, then it's not as bad. But yeah, the window navigation still, that's not really solved. Nor is Finder. So yeah. Anyway, what was I doing? I need monster. I got zombie. I already have zombie. Well, it's not showing in the tab at the top, brother. So then I just need town.swift. Zombie town. Main zombie monster in town. Main zombie monster town. Okay. Zombie code coming over. Monster. Shit, what did I do? Oh no, that's good. And then finally town. Yikes, I'm in Jaro, brother. God damn. Alright. That cool, man? We good, brother? But will it run? Initializers may only be declared. Oh yeah, we knew we knew that would error out. I just didn't delete it there. DD, and DD. Hot dog, we got there. Okay, so I'm going to close this. Close useless ass finder, and then drag that baby over. That's another thing. See, on Mac OS, on Windows, if I'm working in this window, sorry, I just like to bitch about it because someone's got to share my pain. So I'm going to yell it out into the ether. So whenever you're in Mac OS, I'm working in this window, right? My cursor is on the window. I'm scrolling, yeah. In Windows, if you come over to this window and my cursor is here, I can just drag and let's just say I wanted to highlight all the text here, right? So I start at the top, click and hold, and then drag it to the bottom, which is what I just did. But what just happened? All that happened was the cursor popped down here. Now, why is that? Because in Mac OS, for some reason, see, now that my cursor is here, you see in the top left-hand corner, it says Xcode. So right now I'm in the Xcode context. If I want to switch over to Kindle, I can't just go interact with this window like in Microsoft Windows. I have to first click inside it and then do it. Doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's really fucking annoying. Why? Because even if you're going window to window, now you're doing this kind of double click action just to like activate the window. It's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. And I'm shocked, flabbergasted, that in 2024 this is still, like, people deal with this shit. It's so, I hate it. That's all I can really say. It's just, I hate that part of it. Now it's better, that's why a lot of people, either this is why they do it or they just don't notice, because if you just use the app switcher, which is nice, hey, it has some good parts, right? If you just switch apps that way, it's already putting it's focusing the cursor for you. But if you're a heavy mouse user, you have to deal with that. And I fucking hate it. It's so stupid. It really is. If you think about it, like how many times throughout the day you're clicking between windows, it's really fucking frustrating. And I don't like it. So that's why I try to stay off the mouse, and why I don't like to move around the windows too much, because, I mean, jing out. But okay, all right, so we got the copy done at long last. I have to pee again. Sorry, hold on. Hold on 1 second. Oh boy. Okay. Now that we've done that, we can actually get cracking. Get cracking. Okay. Where did it want me to make a copy? Okay, make a copy of the Monster Town project from last chapter. So you have all the current code. Open the copy and navigate to main Swift. Okay, we're there. In main.swift, change your use of the empty initializer on the town type. Here it is. Okay. Okay. In main.swift, change your use of the empty initializer on the town type to a call to the free member-wise initializer. Give the town's properties values that are different from the default values provided in town's definition. Okay. What does that look like, brother? Var my town equal town. Oh, okay. So inside where it was blank before, now we're saying that for this instance of town, which is my town, it should initialize with a population of 10,000, not 5,422 like the default town. Has it always been a... I guess it has been a comma. Separating the arguments, is that right? I guess we don't have many examples. Whatever. What was the other one? Number of stoplights, yep. And now we're doing 6 instead of 4 for this instance. And then my town dot notation print description. And then we run that bad boy. And then oh, Monster Town would like, yeah, sure, brother. Where is it? Oh, there it is at the top. Population 10,000. Number of stoplights 6. Okay, and so they're calling this member-wise initializer. You know, one thing that I've noticed, I mean, you need terms. You definitely need terms, so it's not really a knock, but just from a to my learning eye, it's just, it oftentimes the terminology is like, this is so simple, you know, like we can see what's happening, what's being done. So there's definitely an air of I don't know, it sounds more complicated than it is, which is the case for a lot of these things, but it's in communicating about it and describing it where it just sounds so complex, and then you go see the thing and you're like, brother, that's like, but you know, perhaps that's better than the other way around, right? Getting simple ass explanations and then like a very complex implementation. Yeah, you know what? So let me shut up. Okay, so now run your program. My town's description in the console reads population 10,000, number of stoplights 6. That's what we got. The instance my town is now created with the free member-wise initializer. And as the console shows, the value you gave to the initializer replaced the default values. Yeah, I mean, I guess it seems so obvious and familiar because we've seen this already when we learned functions. Except now, yeah, well, it is obviously different. Yeah, it's different. Okay. All right, so notice that town's property names are used as external parameter names in the call to this initializer. Notice that town's property names. Oh, so yeah, so let's go look at town and population and number of stoplights. So, oh, you're right. Yeah, okay. The book is right. Yeah, that is very different. So it quacks like a function, looks like a function, but it's not a function. Or I should say it quacks like a function signature, but it's not, because this is a property, not a parameter. But wait, they called it Notice that towns property names. Oh, they did. They called them property names. Okay, yeah. So yeah, these are in fact properties. When we saw it in functions, we were simply subbing the default parameter values in the function signature. This is different because we're providing we're providing new values in place of the default values for properties, not parameters. Okay, so number of stoplights and population. So main. Okay, so we see that. So let's go back to this. Notice that town's property names are used as an external parameter names in the call to this initializer. Right, so these are properties in the town type that we saw. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I mean, how else would you do it? Okay, so then Swift provides in the call to this. Swift provides default external parameter names to every initializer automatically. One for each parameter given by the initializer. This convention is important because Swift's initializers all have the same name in it. Yeah, that's what okay, so that's just what it is. Oh, so it's under the hood, that's what you call pattern matching, brother. So that's how they can do that. So there's actually many instances potentially of init, but they would have different signatures. Like one might have, town, population, number of stoplights. Another one might be, city, crime rate, number of nightclubs, different signatures, but both the same function and init. But I only know that because Elixir and I think Elixir is the only other language I've encountered that in. Although they called it arity, A-R-I-T-Y. A function's arity, but you could also have in Elixir the same function but multiple versions of it. And it could match on those via pattern matching. So it knew which one or which version to run in a given scenario. And so that seems like what's cracking here. This convention is important because Swift's initializers all have the same name of init. Actually, brother, let me I'll just keep that. Therefore, you cannot use the function name to identify which specific initializer should be called. Therefore, you cannot use the function name. Okay, right, yeah, we just talked about that. The parameter names and their types help the compiler differentiate between... Why do I have the hiccups? The parameter names and their types help the compiler differentiate between initializers and know which initializer to call. Free default memberwise initializers are a benefit of structs. Free default memberwise initializers are a benefit of structs. Oh, okay, so they're not available in classes. Well, great, brother, because we ain't using them. Nonetheless, it is common that you will want to customize the initialization of your type. Oh, man. Pardon me. Man, let me order some Starbucks, brother, because I got a long day ahead of me. Ooh, baby, I love your way. Every day. Yeah. I wanna be with you night and day. Caffeine and other stuff that I put in my body that maybe I should stop, but I'm not gonna stop because I've been doing it for such a long time. And why not? Because I'm still a little bit healthy. No, I'm playing. I mean, you shouldn't do. Not promoting the use of anything bad. Certainly not. It's hard to let go sometimes, brother. I don't know that I need, I guess I'll just get one. And then if I get one, I'm getting a venti. I'll be in a basic bitch mode today, baby. Venti mocha frappuccino with 2 extra shots and like skinny milk. But it's actually whole milk. Cause I'm not a little bitch. How about that? You didn't know it was a stream like that, did you? Yeah, it is. It is, brother. Okay, so I want I think I'm gonna get this. Yeah. Just one, and then I'll let. No, wait, no. Nah, yeah, just one. I'm gonna say something, and it's not a flex. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you more because it's a fun fact, but also, hopefully, you will learn from it. Maybe, perhaps, you are in a similar boat, but it might not be too late for you. It was too late for me, but I can share my story now. So, I did, you know those, I forget what it's called, but there's a lot of apps that kind of aggregate your spend. You know, they have tags, and like, so if it's a restaurant, they'll put that in a category for, you know, eating out, groceries. It's pretty handy. They're pretty insightful, and a lot of them are free. And anyway, in 2022, I had spent $21,000 on Uber Eats. So, I mean, needless to say, I like Uber Eats a little bit. But brother, that is, yeah. But I'm a single man, you know. At the time I was single. What you want me to do, brother? I got work to do. You know, so you can do that, but you shouldn't be so. There's no justification. I'm just saying. Don't be that guy. Learn to cook a little bit, brother. Get you a little skillet, one of them little pans, you know. But yeah, it's a big flaw of mine. I waste a lot of money, brother, eating out. It's so easy though. It's just so easy. It's always next time. One more time. Anyway, my girl does cook for me though, so I love her for that. Yep. But when she's not here, Uber Eats is my mistress. Okay, therefore, you cannot use a function name to identify which specific initializer should be called. The parameter names and their types help the compiler differentiate between initializers and know which initializer to call. Yes, you just got a bunch of different init function signatures, and they just got to match on the free default member-wise initializers are benefit of structs. They are not available on classes, hence oh right, because struct or town was a struct. Hot dog, man, it's tying in. Okay, that is where custom initializers come in. Okay, so now what? Custom initializers for structs. I thought we wrote one. I thought we wrote one already. Oh, that was the example, but it was just kind of out there. They were showing us the syntax. Okay. It is time to write your own initializer for the town type. Custom initializers are powerful, and with great power comes great responsibility. When you write your own initializer, Swift will not give you any free initializers. So either use our shit or use your own shit. Okay, got it. You are responsible for ensuring that instances' properties are all given their appropriate values. Okay. First, you need to do some house cleaning. You are going to remove all the default values you have given to properties. These were helpful before you knew about initializers, as they ensured that the properties for instances of your type had values when an instance was created. But now they do not really add value to the town struct. You will also add a new property for the town's region to the description that is logged by print description. It will be a constant because towns do not move from region to region. Oh, right. Seemingly not. Agreed. But it will have no default value because different town instances will have different regions. Let's see. Be constant. Okay. Open the town.swift. Okay, heard. And make these changes. They will introduce errors, which you will fix in the next step. Okay. So we want to get rid of all of these trailing little equal sign dillies, because those are our... Oh wait, it doesn't want me to do that one. What did I just do? Xcode, Control Z. There we go. So get rid of the M. And the 5422. And number of stoplights. Okay. And we're adding region to our func print description. Where you at, brother? There you are. Control E. Go to the end of the line. How do you separate the multiple? Oh, the semicolon. So I can just go here. Number of stoplights. There we are. Region. Escape character. String interpolation. Region. Yeah, so that goes away. And that goes away. Okay. Yep. Oh, right. It said we would get errors. Okay. All right. Relax, brother. Yeah, okay. So when you delete the property's default values, the compiler issues an error in 3 places. Yes. Which is... Okay. Normally I can click on them and it'll expand, but fuck me today, I guess. So we'll lean on the book then. So the compiler issues an error in 3 places, all indicating type annotation missing in pattern. Oh, I guess that's why. That's the whole error. I thought there was more to it. Type annotation missing in pattern. Oh, here? Is that what you mean? Maybe. Okay, so previously, you took advantage of type inference for these properties. All right, because we gave it a default, so it knew. Okay. Which worked well with the default values you gave them. Without the default values, you need to explicitly declare their types. Oh, so not for the struct, because that is the type, but for each property. I gotcha. Okay, so we've seen this. Let region type annotation with a colon and then string, babe. That's a primitive, not one of our own. Var population. Okay, yep. That's now an int. Okay. And number of stoplights also needs a type. And brother, let me tell you what, that's an int as well. All right, so now it is time to create your custom initializer. Oops. Your custom initializer. Later you will call this initializer from another initializer defined within the same type. Now it is time to create your custom initializer. Later you will call this from another defined within the same type. God damn, okay. It's a lot of initializing. For now, add the following initializer to your town type. All right, brother. Okay, so that's cool. So down arrow goes a whole page, doesn't just scroll. Okay. Makes sense, I guess. Adding a member-wise initializer. Where do you want it, brother? Under stoplights? Okay. All right. Init. Region. And we know that's of type string. Population, int. And stop lights, also int. So these are not, well, I guess it is. Okay, that's what I'm not. Init is a function. I gotta remember that. Or it's a method, which is a function. Okay, so these are. Yeah, interesting. So, okay, so I get what it's doing. I get what it's doing. So it's kind of like, oh, it doesn't matter. We get it. Because it's in the scope, it can use these. They exist already. We can use these as parameters. Okay. But they're properties of the town type. Yeah, okay. Init, no return type declared, self region equal region, oops, self population equal population, number of stoplights equal stoplights. Hey, brother, what do you know? Okay, so yeah, let's keep going. I still don't, I just would have thought, just in my head, that something like that might work. Well, okay, I guess it can't, because if you use the self, that's on the instance itself, and if it's not in the same scope as the parameters or the properties that are serving as its parameters, then how could it? Okay, all right, fine. Where was I? The init region population stoplights initializer takes 3 arguments, one for each of the stored properties on the town type other than world, because world is a type property, hence static keyword, other than world, which has a default value. In the body of the initializer, you take the values given to the arguments and pass them. So in the body, you take the values given to the arguments and pass them to the actual properties of the type. Okay. Oh, so the okay. So the caller will provide those, and then it uses those to say assign those to myself or to this instance. Therefore, within scope, then region gets assigned its string, population gets assigned its string or integer, as does, well, I wonder why. I mean, they're going to tell us, I'm sure, but why is this not? There's no self here. What's going on with that, brother? Is that because, where's stoplights? Oops. I don't know. Well, let's keep reading. Yeah. I don't know why it's treated differently. You take the values given to the arguments passive. Okay. Because the parameters names for region and population are the same as the property names, because the parameter names for region and population are the same as the property names, you need to explicitly access those properties via self. Oh, let's read that again. Because the, oops, close that window. Because the parameter names for region and population are the same as the property names, region, population, region, population, and of course these are the properties, so that's what it's referring to. Okay, I thought they had to be that, so they don't have to be that. But they're saying since they're the same, we got to use this self explicitly. Oh, okay. I see. Okay. That's why we don't have to, because this is stoplights, not number of stoplights. And so since number of stoplights, where to go? Right here. So that as a property is named number of stoplights. But in our parameter here, we just call it stoplights. And since we're doing that, we don't have to do the self dot. We just do number of stoplights equal stoplights. Whereas here, it's an exact match to the actual property name. Okay, brothers. Yeah, I get it. But why? Why? I guess we'll find out, but the number of stoplights property does not have this issue. So you simply set the value of the initializer's argument for stoplights to the number of stoplights property. Yeah. Notice that you set the value for the region property even though it was declared as a constant. Right, what's up with that? The Swift compiler allows you to set a value for a constant property one time during initialization. Okay, that makes sense. It has to initialize with the value and it cannot be changed because it's a constant. But you can't initialize with nil. Notice that you set a value for the region property even though it was a declared. Yeah, remember the goal of initialization is to ensure that a type's properties have values after initialization completes. Man, where's that coffee at? No, it's really, I mean, my mind is awake. Well, wait, I'm not sure if... No, yeah, I do. It's more like a body fatigue, maybe. I don't know. That doesn't even make sense because my mind's in here with my body. It's in the body, baby. Notice that you set the value for the region property. Oh, wait, we did that. At this point, you may be noticing that Xcode's issue navigator has opened on the left. My busted ass instance didn't do anything. Maybe do I need to run it? Oh, okay, there we go. All right, so then on the left, 71. If the issue navigator does not open automatically, open it by clicking the fifth icon from the left above the navigator area. Oh. If no errors appear in the navigator, try to run the program. You will see that the issues are located in main Swift. Yeah, that's handy. I mean, it's nice and concise. In terms of location, if no errors appear, wait, we did the... and relate to the initializer that the compiler was giving you by default. Okay, so what's it saying? What's the problem? Extra argument number of stoplights in call. Oh, it should just be stoplights, right? Yep. Missing arguments for parameters region and stoplights. Ooh, that's, man, I mean, that's a nice error message, I gotta say. I mean, it doesn't get much more clear than that, brother. What else you want for it to tell you? So then, okay, that makes sense to me. There are two issues, both in main Swift, where you create an instance of town using the memberwise initializer. The memberwise initializer, let's just go ahead and fix that. stoplights, and oh, we need a region. What is our region? No sé. Argument region must be what? Must precede argument population. Oh, so it, okay, it matters. So the sequence must match the signature. Okay. And nice. I didn't realize no sé spells nose if you don't put a space in it. How about that? Okay. Use the compiler we have, put a parameter. Fix the problems by including all the parameters using the names the compiler is expecting. We have to put on a slow line to fit this page. You can leave them on one line or break them as shown. I didn't know you could do that. I like that better. And you want this to be west, brother? West side? Okay. And I can... Oh, yeah. I love me a good unrequired indent. That's how I write my sequels. I love that. The little blocky... Oh, man. Nothing more beautiful than that. Except for a big old booty. No, I'm playing. Anyway, tighten up, guys. All right, so stoplights 6, build and run the program. The error should disappear, and you should see console log output beginning with population 10,000, number of stoplights 6, region west. And that's what we fucking see, brother, right in the bottom right hand corner. See that tiny text? Go ahead and squint at it. Now zoom it in for your ass. All right, so let me go ahead and collapse that, brother. Initializer delegation. Delegation nation. You can define initializers to call other initializers on the same type. Now, yes, we spoke of this. Where's that coffee, brother? 8 minutes away. I think I'll live. You can define initializers to call other initializers on the same type. This procedure is called initializer delegation. Go ahead and save it up, brother. You know what it is. I fucking hate this. I highly dislike this. Kindle, why did y'all do this, bro? Y'all had it. Fucking bungled the whole thing. Let's make the app worse. All right. Reset is typically used to provide. This procedure is called initializer delegation. It is typically used to provide multiple paths for creating an instance of a type. I want to ask very quickly if that's the case. So in SwiftUI is initializer delegation using pattern matching. It's not directly related. They are distinct concepts, though both are important in the language. Initializer delegation in Swift refers to the process where one initializer calls another. Oh yeah, well, they did tell me that. Yeah, but from its immediate. Oh, I see. Yeah, I was not understanding it correctly. Okay, we'll come back. Okay. In value types, enumerations, and structures, is a class a I think that was the other. Okay, yeah, reference type. So structs and enums are value types, and a class is a reference type. In value types, enums and structs, initializer delegation is relatively straightforward. Great. Because value types do not support inheritance. Thank goodness. Initializer delegation only involves calling another initializer defined on the type. Initializer delegation only involves calling another initializer defined on the type. Okay. It is somewhat more complicated for classes, as you will soon see. I don't want to see it. I don't need to see it. Switch to town Swift to write a new initializer on this type that uses initializer delegation. Switch to, okay. Okay, we wrote that, and then, we got this new one here. Yeah, new guy. Here. Init. Population. First parameter. Integer. Stoplights. Open that body up. Bust it wide open. Self. Init. Oh, self init. Region. Nah, not available. Int. And then that. And stoplights is stoplights. Okay. And so what just happened? Oh, that's what that is. Okay, delegation. So here's an init, and it calls another init. It's on itself. I mean, I get the overall purpose. Like, yeah, we want to initialize with values, but why all the hoopla? What would we use this for? In value types, wait, we read that. Yeah. Here you define a new initializer on the town type. Here. But this initializer only takes two arguments: population, stoplights. What about the region property? How is that getting set? I don't know, brother. Tell me. Look at this new initializer's implementation. You call town's other initializer on self in the line self init. Oh, so it's getting set here. Or no. Okay, I don't know. Tell me. Yeah, tell me. Look at this new initializer's implementation. You call town's other initializer on self on line, on self in the line self.init. Right here, 27. Okay. You pass in the supplied arguments for population and stoplights. Population, stoplights. Okay. With you so far. Because you do not have an argument for region, you supply a value. In this case, the string NA, to signify that there was no region information given to the initializer. Yeah, okay. That there was no region information given to the initializer. But okay, does Swift just know what NA is or what? In initializer delegation helps avoid duplication of code. Instead of retyping the same code to assign the values passed into the initializer's arguments to the type's properties, you can simply call across to another initializer on the type. What? You can simply call across to another initializer. I'm like 2% following. Okay, but yeah, okay. Instead of retyping the same code to assign the values passed into the initialized arguments to the type's properties, so in order to get them here in the actual buckets where we need them, you're saying instead of retyping the same code to assign the values, you can simply call across to another initializer. Okay. Avoiding duplication of code does more than save you from typing the same thing twice. It can also help avoid bugs. When you have the same code in two places, you have to remember to change both places anytime you make a change. We say that initializer delegation defines a path by which a type creates an instance. Okay. Let me go and save that, brother. That's a little nugget. One initializer calls across to another. One initializer calls across to another on a given type to provide specific pieces that are needed to create an instance. Eventually, initializer delegation ends up... Wait, so in this case, if region is it's a constant, so when it initializes, it would just forever have no region, I guess. So, because you define your own member-wise initializer... Oh wait, I skipped a sentence. Yeah, one initially calls across to another on a given type to provide specific pieces that are needed to create an instance. Eventually, initializer delegation ends up in an initializer that has all it needs to fully prepare an instance for use. Okay, so the caller outside the struct in this case can just, it would use both? Or it would just use one and one calls the other? Yeah, hopefully they explain more, because, I mean, why are these... It looks like we're doing the same thing, brother. Because you defined your own member-wise initializer, the compiler will give you no free initializers. This is not all that limiting. It can even be a benefit. For example, you might want to use this new initializer if there is no region information available for a given town that you would like to create. In that case, you would use your handy new initializer with arguments for population and stoplights to set the corresponding properties, while also giving region a value so that initialization can complete. So that's the example. For example, you might want to use this new initializer if there's no region information. Okay, I see. So it just can't be nothing. So you set up an instance of an initializer that can be used if, say, a town tries to get created, but there's no value passed in as region. It can just assume NA and then still accept these arguments. Maybe, I'm not sure. Because, wait, we read that. Try out this new initializer in Swift, okay? Using the, in main, POW. Get rid of region west, no region. No water. All right, here. Oh. Okay. Population stoplights. Run it, baby. And it worked. Let's go and squint down there again. Way down there. Squint. Lean into your screen there. Population 10,000. Number stoplight 6. Region. Nah. So. Yeah, I mean, Okay, they're moving on. Class initialization. Brother, we're skipping this shit because I don't want to use classes. I just don't. But we're gonna ask about. I mean, we're gonna understand this first because I don't understand it yet, and I need to. And what the hell? So I mean, the only thing different here. I guess it did say that in structs, it's pretty straightforward. You're just using, where did it say that? It said, yeah, because value types do not support inheritance, initializer delegation only involves calling another initializer. Only involves calling another initializer defined on the type. Oh, okay. So, okay, that's why there's multiple. So you can do it either way. Hot dog, man. Okay, so yeah, I get it. So since both of these initializers, I thought it was saying one initializer would use or would call the other, but they're just saying, at least with respect to a struct and an enum. On the caller side, which is the caller being whatever thing calls upon it, so town in this case. So when we create this instance of the town type, we would have, it would be at our discretion whether to use one or the other. Meaning we could do this, and if we pass in only population and stoplights, then it will assume we want to use the initializer where there's no region, and it just takes NA. But we could also do it like we had it before, and that is also acceptable because there's an initializer for it. All right, yeah, it took a while, brother. I got there. Okay, so all right, so yeah, and I think my I think my coffee's here. Oh boy, life's looking up. It sure is. All right, hold on, brother. Crack time. Crack time. Just gotta put my pants on. Get your pants on. Get your pants on. Ouch. And I gotta pee. Hello, kaliki, lucky Lou. Lucky Lou. Zooby, zooby, zoo. What was that from? Where did I saw? Zooby, zooby, zoo. Oh, Mad Men. Thanks, Raul, for dropping off my coffee, brother, and working in the rain. Y'all doing God's work out here, brother. I'm happy to tip. All right? I fully am entrenched in American tipping culture, and so should you. And if you don't tip, you're a bad person. It's something I do not believe. Fuck that. No, I mean, you should tip, brother, if you feel so compelled to. I actually think the people that tip out of guilt are actually the worst kind of people. Why? Because they're not reliable. Even if they're kind, they're meek. They're easily influenced. Why the hell are you being swayed by some unspoken expectation? Can you imagine? It's totally in your head. You don't want to feel bad, so you'll give your hard-earned money away, brother? That doesn't sound... No. Don't do that. Make them earn it. Or not. Don't even think about it, though. It's just, they do a good job, great. Tip. No, you know what's crazy is fucking, like... I'll give you an example. I went to this... this is Dallas. I'm in Dallas, so we don't... Weed is not legal here, but... You know, every now and again, I hear about some new bullshit. You know, they make that fake weed. And I remember... I mean, I've tried it before. I'm like, man, this shit sucks. Okay, so I, whatever, let it go. And then one of my... I think she was... Oh, it was my barber at the time. Yeah. She was telling me about... What are they called? I need to find it. We're having a quick coffee break, all right? Relax, brother. We're going to learn. Kratoms? Well, let's just ask the... Oh, Nelly here. Hello, baby. What just happened? You see what I'm saying? That like, there's no button to like just shrink. Like, I just don't like it. I just need to quit using the mouse. What are Kratoms? I think that's what they were called. Kratoms? Yeah. Anyway, she told me about these, and it's something. It's not a drug, or it's a natural thing, right? And you can buy them basically anywhere. And they really do work. You can see it right here. So low dose, high dose, but stimulant effects. You feel energetic, alert, sociable, and you really do. It's probably the only. I kind of forgot about them, but it's the only. Like basically since. What am I trying to say? All the supplements, there's so many supplements that are sold out there. And it's in that rarefied air where it's one of those supplements that actually does something for you. Like to me, it has actual pragmatic use. It's like clearly caffeine can be utilized, right? It has a use. Creatine, I would put in that category. Glutamine, shit like that. But then also Kratoms. But the interesting thing that I think applies to Kratoms is, as you can see at higher doses, sedative-like effects. Make you feel good, relax, pain relief, calmness. Similar to, if you roll a joint or whatever. I'm not saying it's going to feel like, that's not what I'm saying. But it hits everyone different. But I mean, I could feel it, and it's not like I'm whatever. I'm not trying to cancel myself. I'm just saying I remember interacting with these things, and maybe check it out. And I think they're legit. I've tried them before. Yeah, it's cool. But yeah, it just made me think of that because think I need to maybe like break off caffeine for like, because my girlfriend's doing it. I'm kind of jealous. Because like this will give me a little, pick me up for sure. But this has 4 shots in it. I don't get the sugar though, so it's really, really quite plain and a little bitter. But better than, gaining 4 pounds with each drink from Starbucks. But yeah. Anyway, peep the Kratoms sometime if you see them in your city. You can get them on Amazon too, but yeah. Anyway, where were we? We were... Did you close that window? You see that thing right there? Yeah, close that. Thank you, sir. Okay. All right, then... Oh, right. I just had a breakthrough in my understanding of what was cracking here. So you can have multiple initializers. And what they were explaining was because there's no inheritance, all that's involved is just calling another. Which could also be said as calling a different initializer, which that kind of, another threw me. I thought it was like a chain reaction, but it's just literally like another one here. So I can either use this one with these arguments, or I can use this one with, oops. Oh, what the hell? I can do that? I can drag, give me. I didn't let me do it. Oh, you can. That's cool. Okay. And we use this, switch the new initializer. Yeah. Init. Yep. Okay. Now, the thing that I would still like to understand is why, like why they're saying that would avoid duplicated code or whatever this is supposed to imply, because avoiding duplication doesn't run the same. Yeah, I want to see it give me an example of that. Yeah, let's ask it that. I wonder what, because I know Gemini got like something stupid, like 2 million tokens for their context window. Brother, that this whole thing is just goofy. All the AI stuff, like, it's getting ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And not in a good way. And not in a scary way. Don't get me started on the whole, it ain't taking anyone's fucking job unless you just had a bullshit job to begin with. But just remember that guy. It's not intelligent. It does not create. It can only regurgitate. Okay? So next time somebody brings that stupid shit up, just tell them. It cannot create. It can only regurgitate. So if your job is paying you to just regurgitate shit that other people have already done, well then by all means, brother, maybe you should be worried a little bit. But even for those people, first of all, if you are watching this stream or even in and around the programming space, you're in a very small community comparatively to the world at large, even the business world. And here's another thing. Here's another fun one. Devin AI, that thing, I can't even call it a program, because it was exposed as a scam. A lot of little tricks for all that marketing jazz. It was supposed to be the first, autonomous AI software engineer. First of all, it was bullshit anyway. They were found out. Okay, it was just a grand demo to get VC funding, basically. Generate a lot of hype. But even aside from that, even if it could do those things, you also have to remember, and I'm just giving you ammo so you can fight the ignorance, okay? You have to understand that these language models, if you're talking about, like, let's go ask it the question, and then I'll show you the example. But, oh yeah, but I did want to see, what is GPT 4o context window? GPT 4. One click, pull the text. OpenAI to announce GPT-4 Turbo, 128,000 compared to 2 million. Are you serious? $32,000. What? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. But where the hell did it go? Oh, there we go. So this, and then I'm gonna give it the code. I mean, either way, I know it'll fit this little function, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, but yeah. So these language models, like this, when you talk to OpenAI or you hit the API, this is running in the cloud on like a giant fucking cluster. Huge. That Microsoft is backing. Half the fucking Azure cloud is probably dedicated to this shit. So like, to think that even your mid-size companies, like 500 employees, 10,000 employees, those are tiny, tiny entities compared to Microsoft. So what I'm saying is you would have to be able to afford to not only hire the AI engineer, meaning get it set up and running, you got to maintain it. You're going to want to teach it things. It's going to break. There are going to be issues. You have to maintain the actual servers. If there's a new release, bug fixes, all that shit still applies. So now you got this massive fucking thing. If you're not familiar, if you're running this in the cloud, like Microsoft owns Azure, obviously, they don't have to pay for that. They're using their own shit. For a company to use it, you would have to be paying for the usage. So like me talking to GPT, that cost, the bandwidth that I am sucking up when I do that, is covered by my monthly fee. But when you use AWS or whatever, even if they have a flat rate contract, whatever, the point is it's going to be really fucking expensive to run this thing continuously. So it's the opposite of when they talk about, like in the past before AI blew up, when they talk about automation and things of this nature, they would talk about when comparing, automation and putting people's jobs into software. The argument was always, well, a computer can work all the time. It doesn't need to sleep. It doesn't need to eat, blah, blah, blah. It's just a program. It does what it does. It doesn't have bad days. It's not depressed. It don't have anxiety. Everyone has anxiety now. Oh, I'm so anxious. But now it's different, because before those are just programs, right? You still incur some cost, right? You're always, if you're running on somebody else's server, that fact is always there. You're always paying for the usage. But now the LLMs really flip that. You can't really make that argument now, because now the consumption, the energy consumption is so high to continuously run them. that's going to be a lot more than a fucking salary or 2 or 3 or 4. I mean, who knows how many? But I guarantee you it's going to be more than an annual salary for a software engineer, brother. So that's another thing. And like I said, you're going to have to maintain it. So guess what? You're either paying out the wazoo to some firm that understands how to maintain LLMs when a new model rolls out. What, you're just going to stay on the old shit? That's not of use. That defeats the whole purpose. As you come up with more and more things you want to train it on yourself, you know, relative to your domain, your specific domain, your organization, that's all programming. That's engineering. And you're going to be paying these AI brothers triple what you're paying your application developer. You gotta fucking think. People are so goofy, man. Just believe in anything. It's so ridiculous. And then the third or the fourth or whatever thing, you have to realize that until companies are able to take everything I just said, in addition to taking the model and being able to self-host it, like no ties to OpenAI or Devin or fucking Google with Gemini. Like, you really think companies are going to turn over their IPs and let a proprietary software touch their code base, read their code base, when they know? Because, you know, as the AI company, your position would be that you want to be serving multiple companies, not just one. So you're sending your IP to the vendor's server because they got to ingest your code, read your code, all that. And your competitor's doing it too. You think they're going to take that risk? Sending their IP anywhere other than outside their, you know, the proverbial walls there? I mean, just goofy, just absolutely ridiculous. Not to mention the AI, the infrastructure set up to connect it to all of your build tools. It has to handle debugging, all of the little interim steps in the process where you're not just simply writing code, going to meetings. You got notes jotted down here. I mean, you're gonna be what, feeding it constantly, updating the context. Now you're out of context, got starting it. It's fucking ridiculous. Now, it is an impressive and helpful tool. It is. I use it every day. I quite enjoy it. But stop the cat, brother. So stupid. Okay, so because you defined your own member-wise. Oh yeah, we were gonna ask because I wanted to get an understanding. So I wanted to give it this passage, and then also the code, and hop down a little. Given the below SwiftLang excerpt, please help me understand how, or please show me an example of what having multiple inits assigned to a particular type solve. Specifically in reference to the statement that it helps reduce redundant code. It is kind of crazy though how much faster they made it. The original 4, the regular 4, yes, it's pretty slow. You ever RDP'd over like a slow ass network and it does that like swiping effect? That's kind of like what it was, about that speed. Oh, my neck, snap my neck. In the provided Swift code snippet, the town struct demonstrates the use of multiple initializers to reduce redundant code. Here's how it works. The town struct demonstrates the use of multiple to reduce. Okay. Primary initializer. This initializer is the most complete one, taking all necessary parameters. Right. So that was our first one that we wrote: region, population, and stoplights. And then the second one. I need to ask it about this too, because I'm not entirely sure why. Yeah. By delegating initialization to the primary initializer, the secondary initializer avoids code duplication. I'm not following you. By delegating initialization to the primary initializer, so I assume the complete one is the primary, the secondary initializer avoids code duplication. Any changes in how properties are initialized, or validated need to be made only in the primary initializer, reducing. Oh, but okay. Tell me more, brother. I mean, that makes sense, but I still don't get why. Was it just the self? The fact that it's... Because, I mean, otherwise, what... I know it's written a little differently. We're not using region, but how is that... Yeah, I'm still not following. Without initializer delegation. Imagine if we didn't use... Okay, great. That's perfect. We didn't use initializer delegation. The code might look like this. Struct town, let region, var. Okay. Okay, but that's... So you write this instead of this? And that's... But in our self init, we still have the same arguments. That's why I don't understand that, but let's press on. Here we have redundant code that sets population and number of stoplights in both initializers. I guess that's, you know, that's just my lack of understanding, I suppose, because to me, when I see self init, I mean, I'm doing the same thing. It's in the body, but I'm doing the same thing. I'm still giving it region, population, IDK, brother. Yeah, here we have redundant code that sets population and number of stoplights in both initializers. If we need to add any validation or logging during initialization, we must do it in both places. Okay. Maybe it's just because they look so similar. I'm not gleaning the value from it, but increasing the likelihood of mistakes and inconsistencies with initializer delegation by using... Oh. Yeah, okay, so that's what we already had. We avoid duplicating the property assignment code. I guess that's the magic word right there, because I don't... Yeah. We just didn't touch on the direct tie, so I don't get how that's... So this is just saying, oh, so by self, nah, I still don't get it, brother, because you're still just, you're calling this. Something else is, there's some other implicit thing, clearly, because I don't like that, brother. I mean, because you don't, maybe if you could mark it as a primary, I don't know. It's just something else to know, I suppose, but yeah, I mean, I get that there's only assignments happening here, assignment operators here. So I guess my question now is around this. Here are examples of creating town instances using both initializers. Let town1 equal town. So we give it region, population, stoplights, like the first example. And in the second one, we only had to pass, wait, let town2 equal town, yeah, and stoplights. Town2, print description. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I get functionally what it's doing, but that's not good enough, brother. I need to understand. So, please expound on how the self init is tying back to the other init, and also how the primary init is ascertained. Ascertained? Inflection, brother. Let's delve deeper. Okay, great. Self-init and initializer delegation. In Swift, when you call self-init within an initializer, you are delegating, so just want to look at it while we're reading this. Okay, where did it go? There we go. In Swift, when you call self init, as in line 27, within an initializer, which it is here, so inside the scope of this one, when you call it within an initializer, you are delegating the responsibility of initializing the object to another initializer within the same class structure enum. Okay. Okay. So I guess you could only have, I don't know, we'll see. I'm not going to try to guess. This delegation can either call another initializer within the same type, designated initializer, or a convenience initializer. In the provided code, self-init is used within the secondary initializer to delegate initialization to the primary initializer. Here's a detailed breakdown. Primary initializer. Okay, so we've seen this quite a many times. I'm not going to read it. This initializer is considered the primary initializer because it takes all the necessary parameters to fully utilize a town instance. Okay, there you go. There's your definition. Y'all made me look it up. It directly assigns values to all the properties. Okay, that makes sense, brother. So let's let me just they might say it, but they were already going on to a different topic. I'm surprised that the book did not say that, but ooh, let's do that one up, brother. Control A, comment. Okay, Takes all the necessary. Yeah. Okay. Secondary initializer. Also seen a few many times. This secondary does not directly assign values, hence no assignment operators here. Instead, it delegates this task to the primary initializer. Okay. I see. So then you wouldn't... Well, I guess you get an error, because if you had literally two primaries, they would be the same. Yeah, and so you'd get an error. So I guess within the scope of a given struct or enum or class, you're only going to have one primary. Now to prove this, I'll just copy paste that bad boy. Bye. Nice. Okay, so that's what it is. All right. Ain't nothing but definition, brother. You just got to tell me. I'll back off. So, when self-init is called, the following steps occur. Oh, yeah, I love this. Steps, brother. Identify the matching initializer. Swift looks for an initializer within the same type, town in this case, that matches the signature. That's pattern matching. Motherfucker, I told you. That's my bad though. You can't, you gotta stay on your toes. You can't just assume what the AI telling you, brothers. You know, maybe my question was dookie, I don't know, but that's literally pattern matching. Okay. So, it matches the signature. Is this pattern matching? It matches the signature. It is not pattern matching. It's very different. Okay, brother. Call the primary initializer. The identified initializer. Well, to be fair, I guess I asked it, the context was a hair different, but the way that it marries up the two or identifies the primary is through pattern matching, because we got right there. See? And then it's looking inside within the scope of the given type. So within the scope of town, it looks for this signature, region, population, stoplights. And then it would see it here. Oh, hey, region, population, stoplights. There's my primary. All right. Whew, we got there. Okay. So the second step, let's just finish this out. What does that say? Oh. Call the primary initializer, the identified initializer, init, region, string, and delegate initialization. The primary initializer executes and assigns values to self.region, self-pop. Okay. Gotcha, brother. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So really all the work is occurring here. This is just like almost like a separate entry point, but ultimately it's still going to flow through the primary initializer. All right, now I understand. Great. Why this works. Using self.init for initializer delegation works because Swift ensures that all initializers in a get here, brother. Why this works. Using self-init for initializer delegation works because Swift ensures that all initializers in a struct must initialize all properties before returning. That all initializers in a struct. Okay, and this one does simply because of the delegation aspect. So if the primary fulfills that definition or that requirement, and it does, then anything calling self-init thereby also fulfills the same requirements. Man, hot dog. Okay, so then I could do like I could could do just stoplights, right? Yeah. I could do just stoplights. Int. Yeah. Self. Init. Region. So. Population. 0. And stoplights. Stoplights. So I could do that also, and those would also work. So if we now take away population on the caller, it will still accept this and assume that population is 0. Right there, brother. Population 0, number of stoplights 6, region so. Oh man, y'all have any idea how big my head feels right now, brother? No, that's cool. I like that a lot. It clicked. Sweet. All right, let me put it back before I get in trouble. Okay, so 10. Yeah, brother. All right. I definitely like Swift a lot. I don't say it enough. I hate on macOS a lot, and I still hate it. I'm not taking that back ever. But I do like Swift a lot. Now, what's interesting about, or not interesting, but what I would like to do when we'll finish this book, because we started it, we're going to finish it in Xcode because it's teaching Xcode, and I don't want to upset the apple cart for myself or anybody that comes to watch these, right? So we're not going to do it yet, but for the, I think that, ooh, you know what? So, oh no, that'd be a terrible idea. I was going to say for the next course for SwiftUI, when we go into that, I could try, because I know there's a pretty, I mean, Swift.org, the official Swift site. I know they've added a lot of support to the VS Code Swift plugin. I would like to see how, I mean, like, okay, here's the thing. To me, it makes no sense whatsoever. Like, if you're writing a GUI, the GUI portion of your application, there's really no reason to use anything other than Xcode, because there's no shot that you're getting a better experience just on the simple basis that you can use, the simulators. You can see what's happening immediately. If you ever done web dev, hot code reloading, like that's a big deal. At least to me it is. I love that. I love seeing a thing react and break and work in real time. It's very handy. And Xcode gives you that, and that's awesome. As does Playgrounds, to some extent. But for other stuff, like just learning syntax like this, like we haven't touched on anything. We're not doing anything graphical. Theoretically, based off what they say, they being, Swift and compatibility with other editors and whatnot, we should be able to not have to use Xcode. We could just maybe even Swift and Sublime. I don't know. Sublime gets no love, brother. That's my shit. I tried all the other NeoVim, fucking Helix. Well, Helix isn't bad, but NeoVim, man, bro. Never mind. But yeah, Sublime is awesome. I know there is a recently updated plugin for Sublime for Swift, so I know it has the support. But anyway, my point is we will try that. We'll try that because I'm interested to see what that experience is like. Because, I mean, honestly, if I don't have to use... I like Swift. You can write Swift on Linux and Windows. Can you believe that? You can do it on Windows. But so you can already do that. But my point is, what is the experience like? If it's like going in, if it's like cutting off one of your hands in order just to not use Xcode, then it's not worth it. But if it's not that bad, I would definitely want to do it. Because everything else I write would be not in Xcode. But yeah, we'll see. We'll go both ways. We'll do it. We'll try to lean into Xcode. Maybe once I don't know, once something clicks, maybe it's not so bad. Who knows? We'll see. But we'll try it both ways. But yeah, just know that there is support elsewhere in terms of an editor and the editing experience for Swift. And yeah, the VS Code plugin, per usual, is probably always going to be like the next best thing if there is a native option like Xcode. VS Code being so popular, it's always just going to get, And what pisses me off is that Zed, the VS Code killer, and there's no fucking Swift support, and you're a Mac only editor. Where the fuck do you get off writing a Mac OS only editor and there's not Swift support out of the box, but Perl is in there out of the box? Make it make sense, brother. But whatever. I digress. So and the only reason I'm so mad is because it looks like a really cool editor, or it is a cool editor, but and it is fast, but no Swift. Come on, dude. God damn. All right, so was there anything else that I needed to glean from primary initialized execution? Oh yeah, let's read this. This is kind of nice. Determining, we got that part. Okay, so call the secondary initializer town stoplights. So the secondary one is Aki 26, yeah. So we call that first, and that's called from here because it's doing the it knows that's what it is because it's an instance of town and it's this signature population and stoplights, which is exactly what we have here, signature population stoplights. So it knows from that caller, right? So we call this initializer, delegate to primary initializer. So as soon as this runs, it sees the self init, which is the delegation to the primary within the same type, within the scope of the same type, and it's primary because it fulfills all parameters required, or all properties are assigned, rather. And then the primary executes. So the primary initializer with all, and then it runs the actual assignments to our properties, thereby giving them values, and initialization is able to fully realize. We did it. We're programmers. Proud of us. All right. That was cool. What are we at? I said 3 hours. I took a dump for like 30 minutes, so I guess right around 3 hours. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up there, guys. I want to thank you for coming out today, hanging out, watching, learning with a brother. And we'll be back tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Friday. We'll be back tomorrow. Yes, we will. 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So I'm going to go ahead and give you my outro. Jer, sign me out. Yeah, or not sign me out. Don't sign us out. Don't sign out. Just kidding. I meant play me out. Play me out, Scotty. You know the cartoon. It doesn't matter. Never mind, Jer. Okay. But guys, okay, so we'll be back tomorrow. That wraps up. God, I forgot the episode count. Whatever. That wraps up today's session. Okay, so 11 a.m. CST. Make sure you follow. And then also, every night, 9 p.m. Central Time until a few hours after that, I have my Halo stream. 100 days of ranked Halo Infinite Road to Onyx. I am at Platinum 6 now. I am 1 tier from Diamond. Once I hit Diamond, I am 7 tiers from Onyx. And I got 50 days to do it. Or nope, not that. I got 47 days to do it. So it'll get got. But come check that out. If you like games, if you like Halo, if you like competition, if you like sweat, if you like beards, if you like me, brother, sister, come check it out. I appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, people. Be good to yourself today. Go eat a good meal. Get just one good meal. Get some fiber in you. If you ain't drank any water today, drink some water. You only get one body. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Be kind. Peace and love.